My name is Frederick Nyaga, the Gender Technical Specialist from Global Communities, and this video is about gender and cooperatives. We know what cooperatives are, but we may not be very clear on what gender is. So we cannot talk about gender and cooperatives without defining gender. So what is gender? Many a times we tend to use gender interchangeably with sex. At other times, we tend to use gender to refer to women. So I want to start by defining gender. And it is very difficult to define gender without differentiating it from sex. Gender usually refers to the social, cultural, political, economic, and religious attributes that are associated with being male and female. Now that I've mentioned male and female, it takes me to sex. Sex has two meanings. One, it is an alternative name for sexual intercourse. But the broader meaning of sex is the biological attributes or the biological characteristics that distinguish us as either females or males. Now these attributes can either be anatomical, and we know when we talk about anatomical attributes or characteristics, we are talking about body parts. The body parts of a female will differ from the body parts of a male. So those differences in the body parts are what we call anatomical attributes. Other attributes or characteristics are physiological, basically referring to the processes that take place in our bodies because of our different body parts. To give a very simple example, for example, a lady or a woman might have a menses or what we call menstruation. On the other side, the man might break the voice to speak with a deep voice like I'm speaking. And the other differences, the biological differences, are what we call genetic. And simply put, genetic differences are referring to what we call chromosomes, which are just thread-like structures which are in the center of our cells, which carry the message from our parents to say who we are. So that explains the difference between sex and gender. Simply put, gender is not women, gender is not sex. Gender is socially constructed. That means we are built by the society. When does this construction begin? The construction begins right at birth, and it continues throughout our lifespan. It is done in our homes, it is done in schools, it is done in mosques, it happens in churches, it happens in the community, it happens everywhere. In a nutshell, as we grow up, we are being made women and men by the society. And this social construction tends to box us in a certain manner, in a manner that we are supposed to behave. For example, in some communities, when a child is born, a baby boy, he is celebrated with 5 urinations, while a woman or a girl is celebrated with only 3. This sends a message to the girl or to the boy or to the society that the boy is more important than the girl. And this type of social constructions continues. When they go to school, for example, it is not unusual in school to hear a teacher telling a boy, why are you being defeated in mathematics by a girl? Or why are you being defeated in sciences by a girl? This is social construction. And this type of construction, for example, might make a girl to feel like they are not supposed to be good in science or mathematics. And this might also make boys to think that they are better than the girls. When you go to the communities, for example, you might hear some statements like, hey, behave like a girl, or behave like a woman, or behave like a boy, or behave like a man. This is social construction. Unfortunately, this social construct tends to limit our behavior, and it tends to restrain our potential such that we may not be able to achieve our full potential because of the way we have been made to behave. Now, it is important to note that this type of construction can be changed. But before we talk about this change, let's look at how it affects the cooperatives. The way we have been brought up is also going to influence the way we look at issues of membership, issues of management, issues of production, issues of marketing, and so on and so forth. For example, one might think that issues of production, governance, and management is a role for men, whereas another person might also think that issues of unpaid work and issues of reproduction is a role for women. So when these people come to cooperatives and they are doing the elections, for example, you might find that the leadership will be elected from men, whereas women are left to do other small things in the cooperatives, and even including serving things like tea and doing other small things in the cooperatives, yet they are equal members in that cooperative. This is just because of the gender construct. But the good news is this, that this construct can be changed. So if we need to attain our potential in cooperatives, if we want our cooperatives to grow and develop, then we need to have a revolution. The real revolution lies in addressing the gender norms, which becomes like rules. And we need to focus on the way we have been brought up. What does that one mean? We need to look at patriarchy, which is the organized power of men over women. We also need to appreciate that whatever is socially constructed can also be deconstructed. Who is going to do this? It is you and me. It starts there. Thank you.